Time is money, and for Olympic athletes, it's gold.
I lost in the 1991 World Championships by 0.04 of a second.
Time is on our side. See how it can win a war. There's no time like the present, but see how you can travel to the future.
There is absolutely no doubt about that sort of time travel.
Does time fly when you're having fun? Find out for yourself on Discover Magazine. Captain Zero, a time-traveling hero, protecting the past and planning the future. From comic books to the movies, we've been fascinated with the possibility of traveling in time. Now time travel is no longer science fiction. Leading physicists actually think it's possible, at least in theory. Though traveling to the future and traveling to the past are very different problems. Traveling to the future is relatively easy.
Traveling into time into the future, having your time slow down, has been confirmed by numerous experiments that have been carried out over the past 50 years. It is absolutely true. There is absolutely no doubt about that sort of time travel.
Well, Albert Einstein showed in 1905 in special relativity that time travel to the future was actually quite easy to do. All you needed was a spaceship that would travel very close to the speed of light.
Time travel may sound like today's wildest science fiction, but it's a reality based on Einstein's revolutionary ideas about time. The most crucial of those ideas is that time isn't constant. It runs differently if you take a trip on a rocket or even an elevator.
Everybody from the time of Galileo and Newton on had assumed that there was an absolute time. But it was Einstein who pointed out that time is relative to the observer, that your time is not my time, that if we each had individual accurate clocks and we had different histories of how we move and where we go, we would come back and join each other, our clocks would read differently.
Our clocks would read differently because, according to Einstein, speed and gravity can actually alter the flow of time. In 1975, Carol Alley set out to test Einstein. Would time on a plane be different?
We had two identical clock boxes, and we would fly one in this Navy P-3C for a total of 15 hours, from dusk until dawn. We would also compare the time on the ground with the time in the aircraft by using short laser pulses. This was the actual Einstein prescription. How do you synchronize clocks at a distance? And during these flights, we could actually see in real time the change in the airborne clock with respect to the ground clock by means of this light pulse time comparison.
The difference in speed and gravity between the airborne clock and the ground clock had created a time difference of 50 millionths of a second. And this wasn't due to some mechanical effect on the clock. On the airplane, time itself had slowed down. The door to traveling into the future was open. Because of speed's effect on time, the Gemini 7 astronauts aged 400 millionths of a second less than people on Earth. The Gemini 12 astronauts, 100 millionths. The results even reached the ear of Richard Nixon, who joked with the returning Apollo astronauts.
Yeah. I understand Frank Borman says you're a little younger by reason of having going into space. Is that right? Do you feel that way, a little younger?
Well, a lot younger than Frank Borman.
But according to Einstein, to go more than microseconds into the future, astronauts will need to travel much faster. They'll need to travel near the speed of light. That's 27,000 times faster than anyone has ever flown.
The fastest we've gone in a rocket ship so far is about 25,000 miles an hour. That was the Apollo flights to the moon. And we need to go about 300,000 kilometers per second to go up near the speed of, that's the speed of light. So it's quite a bit that we need to increase our speed.
There are various proposals to make a rocket ship go fast, sufficiently fast, so huge amounts of time dilation are generated. One such proposal is to use a antimatter rocket. That is, the rocket ship is propelled by annihilating matter and antimatter.
Traveling at the speed of light, an astronaut will age years less than people on Earth. He'll return home far into the future, long after his friends have died.
Have you any idea what year this is, right here, right now?
Of course I know what year it is. What's that got to do with it?
Everything. Major, this is 2024.
It's what?
Of course, there's no guarantee he'll like the future. Can he ever get back? According to Einstein, the answer is no.
Who are you? What are you doing to me?
No law of physics permits backwards time travel, or so it was thought. In 1974, Frank Tipler startled the scientific community with an ingenious thought experiment in the tradition of Einstein, but involving travel to the past, not the future. His model is a rotating cylinder, just like this carousel. If the cylinder is massive enough and spins close to the speed of light, its gravity will be so strong that it actually twists time into a loop.
What I proposed is that you can create a time machine by rotating a massive body, just like this carousel is rotating. If a very massive body rotating, it will twist time in a very strange way, so that if you move in the direction that we're now moving, the direction of the carousel, you will actually go backwards into time as you turn around.
But Dr. Tipler's carousel isn't the only way to travel back in time. Another way involves incredibly thin, dense strands of matter left over from the Big Bang. These are called cosmic strings, and with their help, Dr. Gott recently cooked up a way to travel back into the past.
So here's a recipe for building a time machine that would travel to the past. You start out with a cosmic string. These are hypothetical objects that might be left over from the very early universe, very high density material, and this, because of their high mass density, the space around the cosmic string is curved. It's not flat like this pizza, but it's like a pizza with a slice cut out of it. So if I cut a slice out of this pizza, and I throw the slice away, I'm left with a geometry that's like a cone.
The gravity of the cosmic string is so great that it distorts the space around it into a cone, just like this pizza. A beam of light must try to go straight across and thus get sucked into the cone. But a space traveler can take a shortcut around the edge and actually beat the light beam to the other side.
Because this distance is shorter, I could have a little spaceship and fly on my spaceship here at 99.99% the speed of light, and because this is shorter distance, actually beat the light beam across.
So Dr. Gott has found a way to go faster than light. And if you go faster than light, you actually go backwards in time. And you can even meet yourself.
Space-time is sufficiently twisted so that I can arrive not only at the place, but at the time that I started. So I can shake hands with myself as I was about to start the trip.
That should cut down on your time travel, my good doctor.
It's too bad, Mr. Xander, that you are not interested in science.
For those interested in science, time travel, at least in theory, seems possible. Actually building these machines is another matter. But if we could someday go to the past, is history safe? Could we stop Hitler? Some physicists think the past is inviolate. We simply cannot change it. But what would prevent us from, say, saving JFK? Would we lose our nerve, or would something even stranger happen?